Okay, we're going to review our serve-receive formation for all 6 rotations, also the attack transition and defense formation. We're going to start with rotation number 1. Our serve-receive formation for rotation number 1 goes like this. We move the setter right here. The power number 6 comes back here to pass. Our middle stays right here in the middle. This middle passer stays also here in the middle. This power moves a little bit closer here to pass. You have to have the court balanced when you're passing. This opposite player comes back here. Okay. This one is our first serve-receive formation, so in rotation number 1. Now, when the ball gets served and one of these passers passes the ball, okay, the setter moves in to set. This middle comes back here to attack. This power in rotation 1 comes here to attack, and this opposite player comes out here to attack. This power over here also moves here ready to attack, and then this middle comes a little bit back to go for pipes. So the options we have for attack right now are the outside left hitter here, which is in this case the opposite player, but it's staying here on the left side. The middle can come attack like this, and the power can come and attack on the right side. Then we have the 3 who can run an A ball, and the middle who can run a pipe. Once we successfully, let's say we pass the ball goes to the setter, everybody's in position, the setter sets the ball all the way to the left side, the opposite player attacks here and passes the ball to the other side. Once the ball's on the other side successfully, and let's say we did not win the point, but we have a rally, then the opposite player here will move ready to block. The next front row player is the middle here. He goes there to block. The setter is a back row player, so he moves back to defend. And the power here is also a front row player, so he has to stay there to block. So our strategy is going to be a 6-back strategy. So we're going to have 2 players right here covering everything in the middle, and the middle back here is going to stay in position 6. These players here at the front need to be ready to block. That's our first defense. And then these players at the back here need to be ready to pass, need to be ready to dig, just in case the ball comes back suddenly on the first or the second touch. They need to be ready and not be taken by surprise by the opponent. Now let's move back the players to their original rotation. So we have setter, middle, power, opposite player, middle, and power. So we're going to rotate them. So the setter comes here, and that's going to be rotation 2. And we rotate all the players. Our formation in rotation 2 is going to be as follows. The opposite player will be closer to the net. The setter will move forward right behind the opposite player. The middle will move right here. This middle at the back will move to the middle to pass. Notice that he needs to be to the left of the setter to be able to be in rotation. And then this power comes back here to pass. Note also that this power needs to be slightly in front of player number 2. So this one is our serve-receive formation for rotation number 2. Once the ball comes and one of these players passes the ball, see, the setter moves here to set. This middle, who is our front row player, comes here and gets ready to attack. This opposite player moves over here to attack, and this power over here comes outside here to attack. This power over here comes to this side and gets ready also to attack, and the middle comes back here and gets ready to attack. So once the ball gets passed to the setter, then the setter has 5 options to attack. So he can run a ball all the way to the left. He can run a ball right here in the middle. He can run a ball right here to the right side. Or he can run an A ball, or he can run a pipe right here. Let's pretend that he's set back, and then we hit the right side hitter hits the ball. So the ball comes all the way over here. The right side hitter comes and hits the ball, right? Everybody, when he hits the ball, they come to cover. The ball successfully goes to the other side, but we're still playing a rally. We did not win the point. So we need to get the players right in their transition to defend. So this power comes here to the net. This middle comes here to the net. This power over here comes back here to ready to pass. This middle is playing 6 back, and the setter moves back here also to cover and defend. The opposite player is right at the net. The ball's on the other side. Again, these players are going to be blocking because it's our first line of defense again. And these players over here are going to be passing, being ready. And that one was rotation number 2. So we're going to go now and review rotation number 3. In rotation number 3, well, we need to get the players back to their original rotation. So we had setter in rotation 2 right here. The middle is right here, and this middle was right here, and this opposite player was right here in the middle. That's how we started our rotation number 2. For rotation number 3, then the setter rotates, and he's going to be in zone 5 for rotation number 3, and then all the players rotate. This middle comes back here. 4, 3, and 2. So that's our rotation number 3. Now, our serve-receive formation in rotation number 3 is going to be as follows. This middle is going to be moving back here because this power needs to pass and then come to attack through the outside here at the left. So he's going to move back here to pass. This setter is going to move forward because you want this setter ready to come and set. So we'll bring the power right here. Okay. This power is right here in his position already. The middle's already here. And the opposite player can just come back here to pass as well. So this would be our passing formation for rotation number 3. Again, the ball comes here. Someone passes the ball, right? The setter moves here to set. Right? This middle comes here to the middle to attack. This power comes outside to attack, and the opposite player is already here, ready to attack. This power comes here for an A ball, and this middle comes here for a pipe. So the ball goes to the setter. Then the setter still has those 5 options, right? If he wants to run a quick through the middle, right? He sets the ball. Everybody comes to cover. Right? Once the ball successfully goes to the other side, and let's pretend again that we're still playing a rally and we did not win the point just yet, then we get our front row players at the front to defend. So we get, it looks like this. Power's already here, middle, back, and the setter. These guys over here at the front are ready to block. And these players over here are ready to pass. Let's look now at rotation number 4. So we put the players back where they were. So we had the setter here was rotation 3. And for rotation 4, the setter moves to the front. And everybody rotates. You can see it's easy to tell in which rotation you are by the setter. You can count your rotations as well, but this is 1, 2, 3, and we are in rotation 4 now. Our serve-receive formation for rotation 4 goes as follows. The setter moves back here. This power needs to pass because this power number 3 is a front row player and he needs to come outside to attack after we pass the ball. So he needs to move over here, but he needs to also push player number 2 over here because otherwise they wouldn't be in rotation. Right? So he comes here to pass. Okay. This player, this other power, moves more or less here in the middle, right, to pass as well. This player moves over here, and the opposite player moves at the back here. Okay. So this would be our pass information for rotation 4. The ball comes, someone passes the ball, let's say the middle now comes here, passes the ball. The setter moves in here to set. This middle is a front row player. He comes here to attack. This power comes outside to attack. The opposite player is a back row player now. So he's going to come here for a C ball. The power comes here to attack, and this middle is going to move right here. So the ball goes to the setter. Middle comes right here. And again, we have the same options, right? We have the left side here, and the middle right here. We have a C ball over here, an A ball right here, and a pipe right here. Let's say we go for a pipe right now. We set the ball here. This guy comes, hits the ball goes to the other side. And then again, the front row players need to be at the nets. In this case, the setter is already in rotation 4, so he's a front row player. So he's going to come here to the right side, the middle here, right here in the middle, and the power right here to the left. This one is the power right here, the middle, back, and now the opposite player is playing on the back court. Same thing applies. We're ready to block, and these players over here are ready to pass. So let's move now to rotation number 5. And for rotation number 5, let's put the players back in their place. Just like that. For rotation number 5, then we need to move the setter one more spot. We rotate him here in the middle, and then we rotate all the other players. All right, so our serve receive formation in rotation number 5 goes as follows. The setter's already more or less in his position, which is between zones and 2 and 3. So he's right here. Okay. This opposite player is not going to be passing right now. So we're going to have the power passing. We're going to have this middle passing. And then we're going to have this power passing. And that will be our passing formation for rotation 5. When the ball comes here, let's say now it's this power's turn to pass. Okay. The setter's already in his position. So the ball goes to the setter. The middle comes right here to attack in the middle. The power comes outside on the left side. The opposite player is a back court player, so he comes for a C ball. This power comes here for an A ball, and this middle comes here for a pipe. So the setter now decides he's going to set a ball to the power over here on the left. So it goes like that. This power comes right here to attack, and everybody covers. Once the ball goes safely to the other side, and if we don't win a point and we have a rally, again, we move the front row players to the net, ready to block. The middle comes here, 6 back, power's already here. The opposite player's already here. Again, these guys are ready to block. And these guys over here are ready to pass. Our last rotation, rotation 6. So we'll move the players back to where they were. And we rotate them. This is our last rotation. Again, in this rotation, the setter is already is in zone 2, so he needs to be between zone 2 and 3 to set. This one is very simple as well. The middle's already here to pass. This power's already here to pass. This opposite player is going to move back. This power's going to move back a little bit. This middle, he needs to be in rotation. So because we're going to pull the power here to pass, he needs to be to the left of number 6. So he's going to move a little bit over here. Get out of the way and be ready to just come here and hit. So we have 3 passers. The ball comes here, let's say to this power. Okay, the setter's already here moving into position. The ball goes to the setter. In the meantime, as the ball goes to the setter, this middle comes here to attack. This power comes outside here to attack. This opposite player comes out here for a C ball. This power comes here for an A ball, and the middle comes here for a pipe. Okay, let's say now we're going for an A ball. So the setter sets the ball right here. Power comes here, attacks. Ball goes to the other side safely. And we're still playing a rally. So now we have the power coming here to the net. The middle to the net, the setter at the net as well, the power and the opposite player covering this zone, and the middle playing 6 back. Again, I can't emphasize enough that you have to be very disciplined to come to the net and be ready to block. And you have to come here to cover this part of the court, the back side of the court, and be ready and don't be surprised by the enemy. And that's it. Thank you. See you at practice.